If nobody's told you this yet, I'm gonna hold your hand. Come on, give it to me. I'm gonna hold your hand and let you know that constantly feeling overwhelmed, emotionally exhausted and drained in your 20s is not a personality trait, but it is a sign that something in your life needs boundaries. Trust me, as per usual, I'm speaking from experience and I learned the hard way. Protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's not dramatic, it's showing up for yourself and making sure that you don't get walked on by anyone and everyone because you're diminishing your values, your morals, what you want to do for other people. And essentially, not everyone or everything deserves full access to you. So today I'm sharing 7 things that I stopped doing in order to protect my peace so that you guys don't have to learn the exhausting way or go through the long route that I had to. As per usual, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So point number 1, and this was a hard one for me in the beginning, I stopped saying yes to everything. Now I want to be very clear here. If you say yes to everything and everyone, you will slowly start to resent everyone, including yourself. I used to say yes to everything because I wanted to be liked, I wanted to be included in things, I didn't want to have FOMO, and I wanted to be seen as, you know, that chill, oh, Tyler's chill, she's easygoing, she'll just say yes. But what I was really teaching people was that my time and my energy was just easily available to everybody. I didn't have anything, so anybody could ask me to do anything and I'd just say yes because, oh, Tyler's chill, she'll just say yes, and she doesn't really have anything going on, she always just says yes to us, so why would we even ask if she has anything else going on? Because she's just gonna say yes. And because of this, I was finding myself ridiculously like burnt out, both mentally and physically, which meant that when I actually had some spare time to do things that I actually wanted to do, I felt exhausted, so I couldn't do the actual things that I wanted to do because I actually spent my valuable time doing things that didn't really mean that much to me, or realistically I didn't actually enjoy it and didn't want to be there. I just had fear of missing out, so I went to that said activity or did said thing. And it's so interesting thinking about where I was back then to the person who I am now. And please, if you're at the start of your journey with all of this, use me as living proof, because who I was back then, now I'll say yes intentionally, and if it doesn't fit my values, what I like to do, my routine, then it's a no. And the hard truth about not being a yes man and having this as a boundary is that not everybody's gonna like this new boundary that you put in place, and they're not gonna like that you aren't gonna say yes to everything anymore. That doesn't mean you're wrong. It either means one of 2 things. 1, they benefit from having access to you all the time, or 2, they're at a stage of their life where they haven't yet figured out their own boundaries, so they don't have any at the moment, so they're confused and don't understand why you have boundaries yourself, and they don't really get that or understand it and might not like it. The second point is I leave events at a reasonable time when I want to. Listen, you don't get any extra points for being the last one standing at a party. I stopped staying out late to prove that I was the fun one. I'm down for anything, like, yeah, I'm the cool one, I don't want to miss anything, like, I'm the fun girl who can have a time and party till really late hours of the night, when honestly that wasn't true. Now, if I've enjoyed myself and my body is starting to shut down, I will listen to my body and be like, great, I've had a really nice time, it's time for me to go. This way I'm able to go home knowing I had fun, I can still do my evening routine, and I'm not jeopardizing my mental health. That's not boring, it's actually a form of self-care. I'm sure you can relate to this, but there's been too many times where I've stayed longer than I should have, even though my social battery is screaming for me to leave the event. But I'm like, no, I don't want to miss anything, I'm gonna stay for longer, and then I've regretted it immediately. Nothing fun even happened after the time I wanted to leave, so I sit there regretting it. I'm there the next day feeling super exhausted, I'm dehydrated, I'm unmotivated, when I should have just left when I wanted to. And just remember, your future self will always thank you for leaving early. Your peace is worth more than staying an extra hour out of obligation. Point number 3, I stopped relying on other people to create my happiness. Something I wish that somebody would have told me sooner was that if you rely on other people to make your life fun, you're giving them way too much power to your happiness. And in the process, you lose who you actually are, because you no longer know what you enjoy genuinely for fun, because you're just used to other people creating that in your life for you. If I wanted to do something, if I wanted to go to the cinema, and I'd been like, yeah, like me and my friend had these plans to go to the cinema, but then on the day she dropped out, it was like, oh, okay then, well, I can't go because I can't go on my own. How could I go to the cinema on my own? That's embarrassing. Like, everybody's gonna stare at me and look at me. Thinking back, it's so conceited that I'm like, everybody's gonna be looking at me and thinking about me, when realistically, everybody's thinking about themselves. Like, it's not all about you. So I basically stopped waiting around for things to just happen, and I stopped putting my life on pause until somebody else was available. Now I do things that I genuinely want to do, and alone if needed. It's not the end of the world. It's actually really fun. I've got quite a few videos on my page already about enjoying your own company, which includes doing things such as solo dates. It's something that was something I did and helped me to grow my confidence, starting out with little small things first and then building up to bigger solo dates, which is really fun. You get to know yourself a bit more and you learn to enjoy your own company. You're not relying on other people to be available for your own happiness. This doesn't make you lonely. No. It makes you secure because you're secure in yourself. Like I said, it really helps to build up your confidence to be like, yeah, I'm gonna take the train to London tomorrow and I'm gonna do a little solo date and travel and do a nice little day trip with myself. Like, why not? You're not relying on other people or feeling any embarrassment about it. Again, little steps can help you to build yourself up to this stage. Point number 4, I practiced emotional detachment. Now, I don't want people to get the wrong idea about this. Detachment isn't about coldness, it's about self-control. I stopped obsessing over why people act the way they do. For example, getting way too invested in my friend's drama, or drama that wasn't even related to me in any way, shape or form, and just spending unnecessary energy on things that didn't even concern me. I stopped trying to change people's minds that were already made up, and I stopped letting small things derail my mood entirely. So for example, if something didn't go the way that I envisioned it or the way that I planned, it then ruining my whole mood for the entire day. When reality, in the grand scheme of things, it was not that deep. And if I'd have just taken a step back and been like, okay, that was kind of out of my control, what happens happened, and move forward with my day, I probably could have enjoyed the rest of my day. But instead, because I was just in this mood, I let it completely like do a 180 on me. The rest of the day was bad. I learned to observe more instead of internalizing the emotions and like trying to hold on to this one way that it has to be, when realistically we know life happens. So it's better to just breathe, observe, move along and carry on with your day, because what good is it going to do mulling on that feeling, mulling on that emotion that's just draining your energy when you could have spent it on better things. Point number 6, I stopped following trends that don't align with me. Just because something's trending does not mean you have to follow suit. I remember back in the day, I used to follow so many trends because again, I wanted to fit in. I didn't want anybody looking at me funny because I wasn't dressed the way that I should be, in line with kind of like whatever was trendy at the time. And I just remember feeling so uncomfortable. I remember going to college in this one outfit, and the jeans, I hate wearing jeans. I absolutely hate wearing jeans, and especially back then. I do a little bit more, but back then, hated them. I remember wearing these jeans and they were so uncomfortable. I was so uncomfortable for the entire day. I was wearing a crop top, which I never wear now. I was in a crop top, jeans, like high-heeled boots, which is insane for me, especially back then. And again, it was just to fit this kind of stereotypical trend style that I should be fitted in. And I was so uncomfortable for the entire day. And I remember saying to myself, listen, you're never doing that again. Don't really care about how it looks, but the main thing is that you are comfortable. And I was wearing trainers from then onwards, best believe me. It's draining trying to keep up with all of these different trends, all of these different things that just keep popping about, because especially with social media, especially TikTok, I feel like I'll scroll and there's a new 5 different trends that's popping up, and they all contradict each other. You should be doing this, why you should be doing this, why this is good for you. Next video, why doing X thing is bad for you, what it's really doing to your insides, or what it's really doing to your skin. What's going on? Like, guys, we need to have our own thoughts and we need to have our own personalities and our own things that we like and enjoy. It's fine. It's fine. You're unique and there's only one of you. So why would you spend that time trying to be and look like everybody else? At the end of the day, you're your own hype man. So if you feel comfortable and confident wearing something that isn't stereotypically in style, who cares? Honestly, it will shine through your confidence a lot more and in your presence if you're wearing something that you feel comfortable and confident in. I can't imagine what I looked like walking down the college halls in my uncomfortable boots, my uncomfortable jeans, and my uncomfortable crop top. It shows, and I'm sure I looked uncomfortable because that's how I felt. So think of it vice versa on the other side, how much you shine and look a lot more confident in yourself and how you would present to others. Just think, alignment is more important than approval. Point number 6, I decentered dating and romantic validation. Now just imagine I have a bullhorn when I'm saying this next point, because back in the day this rang very true to my situations, and that's why I had to put this boundary in place when I recognized it and acknowledged it immediately. If dating has the complete power to dictate your mood, confidence, and self-worth, then it is way too centered in your life. And point number 7, I stopped over explaining my choices. Believe it or not, you don't need anybody's permission to be able to change. In the past, I have over explained myself and my decisions, being like, yeah, like this is why, but if you think about it, like it's better off like this and this, and I've over explained, and I'm essentially word vomiting because I really want them to try and understand where I'm coming from so they can in turn validate my decisions. I felt like I had to prove myself, when in reality you don't owe anybody an explanation for choosing differently, outgrowing something, or protecting your energy. When you think about it, people go through so much in life that everybody is changing and going through these changes themselves and going through these things. So if you think about it like that on the grand scale of things, do you think is everybody explaining themselves to you? No. So you don't have to. If it works for you, it works for you. It's like that person with the 365 buttons who made a resolution on New Year's, and everybody in the TikTok comments was like, okay, but what do you do with the buttons? Are the buttons going towards something? Are you putting something in the jar? Does each button mean something? And then they were like, you know what? I don't need to explain anything to anybody. If it works for me, it works for me. And if I understand it, I don't feel the need to explain myself to anybody. It made sense to them, and that's all that matters. The more confident you are in your decisions, the quieter your explanations will be. You won't have to feel the need to explain yourself to anybody. And the people who genuinely love you and who are in your circle, who actually respect you, will also respect your boundaries. They won't question you about them, they won't poke and prod, they'll just respect them, and they'll even adjust to those boundaries. So this is what protecting your peace looks like, guys. It doesn't mean you stop caring, you just care about different things, the right things. You're allowed to choose a life that's more aligned with the things that you want, even if that looks different to everybody else. And if you're just thinking about this and wanting to kind of go on this journey in your 20s, trust me, you're starting at a great point. I wish that I've done this sooner in my life, but it's fine because we're here now. But the earlier you can recognize this and put these boundaries in place to protect your peace, the better. Trust me, you're ahead of the curve, because if you're already starting to think about ways you can protect your peace, then that means you're going to quickly become the most highest version of yourself that you can possibly be, and you're striving, you're growing towards that a lot faster. So guys, that does wrap up today's video. If you took one thing away from this video, what is it? Let me know down in the comment box below. Please like the video and subscribe. I'll be posting more frequently, and I'll see you guys in the next video.